Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRIENDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer for the Washington Commanders and the entire NFC East. Rumors are swirling that the Giants, who are currently sitting at a disappointing 2-11 and are clearly in rebuild mode for the 2025 season, are in advanced talks to trade one of their most promising young pass rushers, Brian Burns. That's right, Brian Burns, the speed demon edge rusher who's been making waves in the league with his explosiveness, could soon be donning a new uniform, and that uniform might just be the burgundy and gold. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would the Giants trade Burns? Well, let's be honest, they're not exactly in playoff contention this year, and with their current rebuild plans, they're looking to stockpile draft picks to build for the future. According to sources close to the negotiations, the Giants are eyeing a package that includes a second-round pick in 2026 and a fourth-round pick in 2027. That's a pretty solid haul for a player of Burns' caliber, especially when you consider that they're also looking to free up cap space, around $11 million, and bolster their offensive line in the process. These kinds of trades echo what we've seen in the past, teams accelerating their rebuilds by shipping out key assets for future draft capital. It's a strategy that's become more common in the league, and in this case, it's all about positioning themselves for 2025 and beyond. Now let's talk about Brian Burns himself. This guy is an absolute speedster on the edge, with a career that's already seen over 60 sacks and 150 quarterback hits. If you've watched him play, you know he's got that explosive first step, the ability to bend around the tackle, and a relentless motor that makes him a nightmare for quarterbacks. In the 2025 season, where he's played 13 games, Burns racked up 13 sacks, along with 56 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and a PFF grade of 73, 6 overall. His pass rush grade alone is a solid 72-0, and he's been a constant threat to quarterbacks, with an EPA per rush of plus 0.25 and a win rate of 16%. That's impressive for a guy who's still in his prime and only getting better. His impact on the field isn't just about the stats. Burns is a game changer, capable of turning the tide with a big sack or a disruptive play that can shift momentum in a heartbeat. Now the Giants are currently surrendering an average of 28, 2 points per game, which is pretty disastrous, especially for a team with playoff aspirations. They're clearly looking to rebuild, and part of that involves cutting loose some veterans and high-potential assets like Burns. But here's the catch. There's some skepticism about how much their pass rush will suffer without him. Some analysts are pointing out that their pass rush has already seen a 15% dip since losing players like Brian Young on the Panthers, and that losing Burns could make it even tougher for them to generate pressure. That's where the Commanders come into play, because adding a player like Burns could be a huge boost for our defense. Let's be real, the Commanders are currently sitting at 3-10, and one of the biggest issues has been the lack of consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks. We've seen flashes from our pass rush, but not enough to dominate games or truly threaten teams at the top of the league. Adding Brian Burns to our roster could be the shot in the arm we need. According to projections, Burns could increase our sack total by about 18%, which would be a massive upgrade for us. Think about it, adding a player of his caliber could force 10 or more turnovers, change the entire dynamic of our defense, and give our secondary more opportunities to create those game-changing plays. His pressure rate per game could jump by 2-3 pressures, making him a nightmare for any offensive line. With Burns on the field, our front would resemble the dominant Panthers' defenses from 2023, plus 200 disruptive plays that would keep offenses honest and give our defense a real identity. And let's not forget the potential playoff impact of bringing Burns into the fold. The odds of winning the Super Bowl right now sit around plus 25-0, but adding a player like him could really shift the needle, pushing those odds closer to plus 500. That's a significant boost for a team looking to make a real playoff run and finally break through to the big stage. Burns' ability to pressure mobile quarterbacks, especially in today's NFL where escapes and improvisation are common, makes him even more valuable in the postseason. His sacks against quarterbacks who are good at extending plays could be a difference maker, and that's exactly what the Commanders need to finally turn the corner and become a true playoff contender. So, what does all this tell us? Well, for starters, Burns isn't just a rental. He's a potential cornerstone for a defensive resurgence. His addition would speed up our transition into an elite defensive team and could even spark a new dynasty. Imagine the front line with Burns, creating chaos that forces teams into mistakes, setting us up for big plays and defensive touchdowns. It's the kind of move that could elevate our entire team, making us not just a playoff team, but a legit Super Bowl contender. The NFL is all about the trenches, and Burns' explosiveness on the edge could be the key piece we've been missing all season long. Now, I know some fans might be hesitant. Trading draft picks always comes with risks, especially when it involves young talent and future assets. But in this case, the upside is too significant to ignore. The Commanders are right on the cusp, and adding a player like Burns could be the final piece that puts us over the top. We've seen the potential in our defense already, but with Burns, we'd be talking about a unit that's not just good but feared. It's about setting a tone, establishing dominance, and making the NFC East a nightmare for opposing offenses. Looking ahead, this move could be the start of something really special for the Commanders. The team has been building a solid foundation, and with the right additions, especially on defense, we could be looking at a team that's ready to make some serious noise in the playoffs. The NFL is a league of adjustments, and if we manage to land Burns, it's going to send a message to everyone. Washington isn't just here to compete, we're here to dominate. Our fans deserve a team that plays with intensity and passion, and Burns' addition would embody exactly that. Whether it's his ability to rush the passer, create turnovers, or just intimidate opposing offenses, Burns could be the spark that ignites our playoff push and helps us chase that elusive Super Bowl trophy. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Do you think Burns is the missing piece? Are you excited about the potential trade? Or do you think we should hold on to our draft picks and build more slowly? Whatever your thoughts, let's keep the conversation going. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. We're in this together, and the future looks incredibly promising if we can make moves like this. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and this could be one of the biggest for the Commanders. A player like Brian Burns could reshape our defense and propel us toward that Super Bowl we've all been dreaming of. So, keep your eyes peeled, stay passionate, and let's hope that this rumor turns into a reality. Because if it does, Washington fans, we're about to witness a new era of dominance.